Fenster steigt und die Sonne und sagt, der Tag glühend heiß oder eiskalt die Nacht. Bestaubt sind die Gesichter, doch froh ist unser Sinn, ja unser Sinn. Es braust unser Panzer im Sturmwind dahin, ob stürmt oder schneit, und die Sonne uns lacht, der Tag glühend heiß oder eiskalt die Nacht. Bestaubt sind die Gesichter, doch froh ist unser Sinn, ja unser Sinn. Es braust unser Panzer in
Sing.
dahin, ob stürmt oder schneit, ob die Sonne uns lacht.
Louder.
Der Tag glühend heiß oder eiskalt die Nacht. Bestaubt sind die Gesichter, doch froh ist unser Sinn, ja unser Sinn. Es braust unser Panzer im Schulwind dahin, ob stürmt oder schneit, ob die Sonne uns lacht, der Tag glühend heiß oder eiskalt die Nacht. Bestaubt sind die Gesichter, doch froh ist unser Sinn, ja unser Sinn. Es braust unser Panzer im Sturmwind dahin.
In addition to that, guys, I got a lot of progress made on the monogram truck. Forgot just how cantankerous it can be. It's not a bad kit, but there's some parts on it that want to keep popping off. But I'm making progress. Might finish it up tomorrow. A kit that gave me more trouble than it seems to be worth was this MPM Messerschmitt ME262 version 12 V12. OMG. Okay, let's talk about this bad boy. First off, no alignment pins or tabs. It's all butt joints for the rudder and the horizontal stabilizer. You got to line everything up manually. Fit's not too terrible. The cockpit, in fact, most of the kit is made actually as a two-seater. Apparently I guess they have a two-seat version. They didn't want to remake a lot of parts because you're getting antennas, the radar version, the two-seat cockpit, two seats, and a bunch of other stuff like that, which you're not going to need, the extra fuel tanks and everything. But those really aren't anything serious. It's just extra parts, no biggie, right? Except the cockpit doesn't fit worth a flip. And you've got a whole bunch of these photo etch parts. And the part at the top up there is the rudder pedals. And you got to wrap those wires around because that's how they went in the real airplane. So kudos to them for all of this detail. But these parts are about 2 steps above microscopic. You see the 2 floor panels are also, I'm not really sure what they do. You're never going to be able to see any of this stuff. But just as an exercise, I went ahead and gave it a shot. And much to my utter amazement, I actually got all the components into the cockpit with a little bit less trouble than I expected, to be honest. Of course, once again, you can't see any of it, but it's kind of nice to know it's there. And some of the stuff didn't have instructions, like this back plate, which fits up against the back of the cockpit. There were no instructions on that. I just had to sort of figure it out. They really assume you know what you're doing. Now, I want to make this as a wheels up version on the stand because it's such a sleek airplane, but the landing gear doors only come with the gear extended position. So I took the midsection where they mount, glued some clear plastic into it so that I could mount the gear doors without them falling inside the airplane. The fit was terrible. I had to cut off the part, that actually compresses when the gear extends. And the fit just wasn't really good, but that clear plastic made it a lot easier because the parts had something to push against. So I cut off the unnecessary parts. Was fitting what I could. A lot of sanding and grinding because it's going to need a fair amount of putty. I'll fill in that other part with stock styrene or with putty, one of the two. Probably trim up some stock styrene to put it in there. And yeah, it started to clean up okay, but then I was amazed at what happened next. So I go to mount that section to pre-fit it, and it doesn't fit. I mean, it's way too big. It's like for a different model. I thought maybe I was trying to put it in backwards or something. You have to cut out a huge amount of this wing fairing to get it in there, to get it to fit in the fuselage. And you also have to trim out a fair amount of the fuselage as well. And we're not talking a small amount here. It's got to represent better than 10-15% of it. And there's just the pile of the clippings and sandings. That's not everything. That's shavings and stuff. It's give it a try, sand, shave, so on and so on. Finally, I got a rough fit, and I took out a little too much in some areas, and that's going to have to be filled in, of course. But this is horrible. This is the worst fitting part I've ever had to deal with. There's a comparison before and after. I honestly thought they put the wrong part in with the airplane, but it's just, I'd been warned about MPN kits. They're not for beginners. So anyway, I also put some clear plastic up in the nose section. I rolled a tube and slid it up there. That gave the nose gear door something to push against. And again, it could be a lot of filing and sanding. I mean, this will probably look okay when I'm done, but we're going to have to fight to get there. And it's all on 1/72nd scale. So I got this hardening overnight. And funny, we just did the thing about clamps. And anyway, yeah. Whew. And I haven't even touched the vacuform canopy yet. They're so much fun to deal with. So I'll keep you posted as we go. But yeah, I gotta admit, it's a challenge. And it's funny, the thing I thought would be hard to be the photo etch, that was easy, and the stuff I thought would be easy, like putting the wings on, were hard. That's it for now, guys. Take care of yourselves, and as always, model on.